So this is a little bit deeper of how I'm looking at this. This is our crank sprocket. Crank sprocket has 24 teeth. Every time it rotates one time, it's going to pull 24 links of chain. Pulling 24 links of chain will turn this outer sprocket on the intermediate shaft, which has 32 teeth. It'll pull it 24 teeth around. 24 teeth here is 3/4 of a rotation. Both sprockets on the intermediate shaft share the same center. So if this one's turning 3/4 of a turn, this one must also turn 3/4 of a turn. The smaller sprocket on the outside has 18 teeth. 3/4 of 18 is 13.5. When the smaller intermediate shaft sprocket turns 3/4 of a turn, it will pull 13.5 links of chain on this chain. When 13.5 links pull on this chain, it will rotate the cam sprockets half a turn. Half of 27 is 13.5. So, I divided 360, one complete rotation, by the amount of teeth on each sprocket. The outer intermediate shaft sprocket, the large one, has 32 teeth. So one tooth represents 11.25 degrees of rotation. So if I move this one tooth, I've turned this sprocket and the inner sprocket, the smaller outside sprocket here. Both of these sprockets, when I turn this outside sprocket one tooth, will move 11.25 degrees. Well, if I turn the outside sprocket 11.25 degrees, when the inside sprocket turns 11.25 degrees, one tooth is 20 degrees. So 11.25 will be roughly half of one tooth. $11.25 divided by 20 gives us 0.5625 teeth. That's how many teeth we're going to turn the smaller sprocket on the intermediate shaft when we turn the outer sprocket on the intermediate shaft one tooth. Well, if we turn that far, it's 0.5625 teeth, but it's also pulling this chain 0.5625 links. So it's also moving these sprockets 0.5625 teeth. One tooth on the cams equals 13.3 degrees. So if we've gone 0.5625 teeth, if one tooth is 13.3 degrees, then 0.5625 times 13.3, we've actually moved it 7.48 degrees of timing on the cams. I've done a handful of these just to see the various outcomes of turning it multiple amounts of teeth. One tooth will move us 7.48 degrees, and that's where I'm at right now, where my motor's timed to. I see if I move 8 teeth, I'd be at 6.65 degrees. If I move 10 teeth, I'd be at 8.31 degrees. I might try both of these just to see if they'll get me a little closer. I'm away for work right now, but when I get back to the house, I'm going to try that. Let's see what 8 teeth will do math-wise. If one tooth is 11.25 degrees, what happens when we multiply that by 8? We get 90. 90 divided by 20, because remember, this smaller sprocket on the intermediate shaft, each tooth is only 20 degrees. So if we've moved 90 degrees, we've actually moved 4.5 teeth on the small sprocket. Now, anytime I move more than one tooth, I have the option to just move the chain that far on the sprocket. So I could actually move the chain back 4 full teeth, and I would only actually move half of one tooth. And if I move half of one tooth there, then I've also moved half of one tooth up here. Half of 13.3, 6.5, and 0.15. 4.5 minus 4, because that's how much we're going to move the chain. We're going to move it 4 teeth. And we have a half times 13.3. And we get 6.65. That's how many degrees we're going to move if we move that outside chain. If we move the outside sprocket on the intermediate shaft, the bigger sprocket, if you move it 8 teeth off, you're going to change the timing on the cams by 6.65 degrees. You'll see there's a pretty wide range here. If we actually, when we move to 16 teeth, we've turned it completely 180. We've turned it the whole way over. And at that point, you're right back to where you started. I think most people familiar with the vr6 know that you can either have that pointed straight up or you can have it pointed straight down. And it'll be properly in time either way if you're starting with a stock block and a stock head. You'll notice that we have a pretty good range here. We have anywhere from 0.83 degrees all the way up to 12.47 degrees. These are changing in less than 1 degree increments. Even the Schimmel adjustable cam sprockets only give you 1.5 degree increments. If you need to change more than that, you can always just change the cam teeth. Just move the cam by 1 tooth, because it's 13.3 degrees, then you can start this sequence all over again. So as the vr6 is already, it seems to be almost infinitely adjustable in less than 1 degree increments just by turning the intermediate shaft sprocket. And I can't think of any reason that the intermediate shaft actually needs to be in any specific location. It seems like all its purpose is to drive the oil pump. It does keep you in time, but it also seems to allow you to adjust the time. I can't find a flaw with this. I don't know if there is a reason that intermediate shaft actually needs to be in a specific position. I don't believe that there is. This to me seems like it should work for me, and it seems like it should work for most people that need a little bit of adjustment. Rather than spending $425 on adjustable gears, I realize it's a pain to pull the transmission off and to pull the lower cover off, but it seems like it can get you within a degree of wherever you need to be. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks.